Hello Algebra 2 folks, this is Mr. Hotard again. This lesson today is on solving nonlinear systems of equation by hand using the substitution method. We've been solving by graphing with our calculator. This is how you could solve it without the graphing calculator. Alright, so I've got the steps right here for us. If we want to solve this system, first of all we want to just solve one equation for y, whichever one looks easier. Alright, in this case probably easier to use the first one. So x plus y equals 4. I'll just rewrite it right here. If I want to get y by itself, I would just subtract x from both sides of the equal sign. So that's going to say y equals, it's not negative 4x, it's 4 minus x, or negative x plus 4. Alright, step 2. I take what I just got, what y is equal to, that negative x plus 4, and I'm going to substitute it into the other equation in place of that y. So I'm going to put it right here in place of that y. So that's now going to say x squared plus x minus, put that in parentheses, negative x plus 4 equal to negative 1. All right, now my next step is just solve that. So I could start by distributing this negative. That's going to say x squared plus x. That's going to be plus x again, and then minus 4 equal to negative 1. And I want to solve that either using factoring or quadratic formula. No matter which method you use, you have to get it equal to what? To 0. So let's go ahead and add this 1 over to this side. We can also combine these two like terms, these plus x's. So this is now going to say x squared plus 2x, negative 4 plus 1, that's going to be minus 3, equal to 0. Now, I could use quadratic formula, but this one's going to be pretty easy to factor. All right, factoring is the faster way. You always want to try to do it that way if you can. I need numbers that multiply to give me negative 3 and add to give me positive 2. What are the only numbers that multiply to give you 3? 3 and 1. All right, they have to multiply to give me negative 3, and they have to add to give me positive 2. So the bigger one's positive. X plus 3, x minus 1. And so that means my answers are x equals negative 3 and x equals positive 1. These are the x values. Now we're not quite done. We know the x numbers, we need to find the y numbers. So I need to go back and plug each of these numbers one at a time, separately, into either of these equations. All right, doesn't matter. You could use the first one, the second one, or you could use the redone version, the rewritten version. I'm going to use this version right here. Y equals negative x plus 4. And I'm going to plug in those x numbers I found. So negative 3, y equals negative 3. So y is going to equal positive 3 plus 4. Excuse me, y equals 7. So when I plugged in negative 3, I got 7. Negative 3 comma 7 is one answer. And then I also need to plug in 1 for x into y equals negative x plus 4. So y equals negative 1 plus 4, going to give me 3. So when I plugged in 1 for x, I got 3. So the other answer is 1 comma 3. Yes, the order you write them in does matter. When you plugged in the negative 3, we got 7. When we plugged in the 1, we got 3. So I need to put the 7 with the negative 3 and the 3 with the 1. Those are my two solutions. Now, let's go ahead and work one of these together, one more down on bottom. If you plug in, now I already have y by itself, so step 1's already done for me this time. So I can just plug in x plus 2 in place of this y. I'm going to say x plus 2 equals x squared plus x minus 2. And I want to solve that. Okay, so if I'm going to use factoring or quadratic formula, I've got to get it equal to 0. Subtract the x from both sides, subtract the 2 from both sides. Those are gone. That's going to say 0 equals x squared, these are gone, minus 4. Now, I could go ahead and factor that, or you could also use the square root method to solve this. But either way, if I'm going to use factoring, equal to 0, what numbers multiply to give me negative 4 and add to give me 0? It'd be plus 2 and minus 2. So that means my answers this time, x equals negative 2, x equals positive 2. Those are my x's. Now how do you find y? You plug them back in. I'm going to use this second equation. Y equals x plus 2. So when I plug in negative 2, y equals negative 2 plus 2 gives me 0. Y equals 0. So one answer, when I plugged in negative 2, I got negative 2 comma 0. The other answer, when I plug in positive 2, y equals 2 plus 2, that's going to be 4. So I get the answer 2 comma 4 would be my other solution. So now I want you to pause the video, take a couple minutes, try these other two examples, 2 and 3. I hope you did them. Let me see. Let me show you the correct answers. All right, number 2. This one you might have been tempted to subtract x from both sides, which you could do, but actually you already have y by itself. You can take this whole x squared minus 2x minus 5, put it in place of this y. All right, and then combine like terms and get it equal to 0. You get x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. That factors into x minus 3, x plus 2. So the answer is a positive 3, negative 2. Plug them back in to find the y numbers. When you plug in 3, you get negative 2. When you plug in negative 2, you get 3. And so the answers are 3, negative 2, and negative 2, 3. And then for number 3, again, you already have y by itself. This one looks more complicated, but you're just plugging in this whole x squared minus 2x plus 1 in place of this y. Basically, you're setting the equations equal to each other. And you need to get it equal to 0. Just move everything on one side to the other side. If I add x squared, subtract 2x, add the 1, I get 2x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 0. Now, what do you notice about all those numbers? You can divide them all by 2. So do that, you're going to be x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 0. Now factor that, numbers that multiply to give me 1 and add to give me negative 2. That's x minus 1 and x minus 1. Or you could just write x minus 1 squared. So the answer, you only get one answer this time. You get x equals 1, 2 times. And so plug in that 1 in for x. Doesn't matter which equation you use. Y equals 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 1. You get y equals 0. So only one solution this time. It's 1 comma 0. And then one last example. I'm going to look at this last example together. Example 2. All right, for that one, I already have y by itself. So let's just take that 3x minus 9, plug it in place of that y. 3x minus 9 equals x squared minus 2. I need to get it equal to 0. I want a positive x squared, so let's move all these things over to this side. All right, let's subtract 3x. Where am I going to put that minus 3x? In the middle. All right, and then add 9. I can combine that with a minus 2. So that's now going to say 0 equals x squared minus 3x. Negative 2 plus 9 going to be plus 7. So I got it equal to 0. Can I factor that? Well, no, I can't, because numbers that multiply to give me 7 add to give me negative 3. The only numbers that multiply to give me 7 are 1 and 7. There's no way to get negative 3 out of that. I can't factor it, so I'm going to have to use quadratic formula. X equals negative b, so positive 3, plus or minus square root of b squared, negative 3 squared, minus 4 times, what's the a number this time? It's 1, times the c number is 7, all over 2a, 2 times 1. Now let's work out what's inside. So that's going to be 3 plus or minus the square root. Negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 times 1 times 7, that's going to be minus 28, all over 2 times 1 is 2. Now what's 9 minus 28? That's negative 19. 3 plus or minus square root of negative 19 all over 2. Now I'm noticing there's a negative under the square root. What's that mean? It means you'd have I in the answer. It means it's not a real number. All right, now basically remember what we're trying to find is we're looking for where the line touches the parabola. All right, there is no I on the graph. So what do you think that means? It means it's no solution, no real solution. All right, these two graphs would never touch each other. If you tried to solve this using your graphing calculator, it would just be a line and a parabola that would never touch. So once you get to this point, if you get a negative under your square root, it automatically means no solution. So remember, you can get no solution, you can get one solution, you can get two solutions, you're just not going to get more than two solutions. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys later. Hotard out.